Previously on the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolved.
Oh, there's a stepladder there, look.
Oh, yes. I thought I was looking at the shoe there. A stepladder. Uh-oh.
I think perhaps we should let the proprietress know that someone's left it out. The stepladder, I mean.
Oh, no.
Naruhodo!
Huh? What was that?
This is your successor, Phoenix Wright.
What? Who the hell is that?
Shut up, there's no time for that, all right? I know you're thinking, but what you're about to start here is going to continue for eons, generations of ace attorneys. You just need to let it go. Let it go, Naruhodo.
I don't think I can.
You have the shovel and the spade thing already, all right? You're getting greedy. Let it go, Naruhodo.
And now back to
Leg.
Giga people. Hello! NicoB. Back with some more of the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve. When we last left off, we continued our long-ass investigation. Damn, this was actually an even longer investigation segment than the previous one. So long that I had to split it up into 2 parts of the second half of it. Or, well, what I thought was the second half. I guess what really ended up being more the first third of it. But yeah, this is a pretty long investigation section. Fortunately, it is a very good investigation section. Not to mention the fluff dialogue. I mean, I probably could have gone through it a lot faster if I didn't look at all the stuff around me, but the fluff dialogue is freaking great in this segment. But we learned that, according to the coroner, the body that was at the start and at the finish is the same body. It's the same person. It wasn't like a fake, like they had a fake at one end to make a, cheap parlor trick. So, still have to figure out exactly how that works. But also, we learned that Holmes, yes, indeed, just is like, yes, I did lie to you. But he didn't really give an explanation why. It's just like, you're just gonna have to wait and find that out yourself, the cheeky bastard. I am curious if he has any real decent reason for doing this, if he's really going to have a motive for not telling us. Or if it's just more of like
oh, you must find that out yourself, Naruhodo-san. It's part of your journey.
I don't know. I don't know. He seems pretty confident that Naruhodo's gonna figure it out anyway, so I don't know why exactly he wouldn't just outright tell me, unless this puts him in danger or something. But I feel like if that were the case, you'd also warn him not to dig any deeper, right?
Know when to leave well enough alone, Naruhodo-san.
And we also learned that Drebber is actually the guy that discovered, supposedly discovered, the professor rising from the dead. And I don't know how this is all gonna play into this shit, man. Like, this is a wacky case. There are so many parts here, and they don't seem like they should come together, right? Like, I don't know how is the professor and Enoch Drebber finding him coming out of the grave gonna play into this case? Maybe it won't. Maybe it plays into the grander scope of this game and not specifically this case, but it is kind of like, I do wonder if the collar thing that we came across, right? Oh yeah, actually just hit me. The collar looked like a dog collar, right? And I bet it is. I think this case is actually gonna play into, yeah, it is gonna play into the grander scope of things. I think the grander scope case here is the Hound of Baskerville, right? And that's what I think is referring to the professor, and also probably that dog collar as well. Did that belong to the dog that was apparently used to kill people? Damn, that's a badass dog. Ooh, yeah. So it's a very distinct possibility that a lot of what is happening here isn't necessarily going to explain away like what happened with the professor's experiment, right? But it will be setting stuff in place for later. At least that's my theory. But anyway, last episode, Digital Native said, aside from Courtney Scythe having some design similarities that can be compared with Emma Skye, her snake-like features at her hands, tie, and hair are most likely a reference to caduceus, a staff with 2 snakes wrapped around it with wings at the top, and the rod of Asclepius, a staff with just 1 snake wrapped around it. The rod of Asclepius is the traditional symbol of medicine and healing, a reference to the god Asclepius, and is often used with health organizations as a symbol of medical care. However, especially in the United States, the caduceus is seen sharing the same role and meaning, and the result comes from a confusion of the 2 symbols looking similar and persistent to the present day. The true meaning of the caduceus is one associated with Hermes, the patron god of commerce, negotiation, and trade. Due to the lack of wings in our design, but the use of 2 snakes rather than 1, there is an ambiguity between these 2 symbols, and the character design most likely had that in mind. Wow, very interesting. Very, very interesting. You know, to be honest, I was more of this, just the simple mind of, oh my God, she's got snakes on her. She must be evil. I was thinking like, well, you know, it could represent, you know, the different symbols of the medical fashion. No, she's evil. She's got a snake on her. I mean, she's Slytherin, right? And that all automatically makes her a bad guy. But yeah, you're right. Now I really think about it, like it's like that same medical design of the little swirlies. You know, you're saying you see on the side like an ambulance. It is very similar to the medical symbol, which is, it's cool. It's very cool. You can really tell there was a lot of thought put into designs for these characters. Not to mention just, I honestly think this chick's design, Courtney Scythe, her design is so cool, man. She just looks super badass. And she seemingly has this crazy ass daughter who likes to cut people open. But Digital Native, thank you so much for that really interesting tidbit. And it is for that reason you are comment today. But all right, guys, here we go. This is the last bit of the investigation. I promise there's actually going to be a trial after this part. By the way, you might see if I seemingly am moving maybe sort of fast through some of the sections, like I'm not like examining everything in like certain areas in this subsequent part. It was because I literally was like, oh my God, I know that this video is getting long. I'm going to try to wrap it up. But even then trying to do that, it still ended up being a long as fuck episode. So, all right, take it away, Past Nico. All right, here we are. We did it. We found the place. Good job, Toby the dog. October 23rd, Enoch Drebber's workshop. Is he here? Or was he here? I see some arrows for that crossbow. That looks like...
Oh, it's another super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine.
Indeed, it would appear so, though only a prototype naturally.
Oh, so you go here then. Gina, well done finding this place. And in such little time, you've really worked miracles. It's Toby here who's the miracle worker. Woof.
Oh, you lot would show up here more long?
Well, his eyes closed.
Hello, Inspector. This one knitted brow. Looks like he's eating a lemon and a bag of fish and chips.
Was he pissed because she found it, not him?
So, Inspector, is there any sign of the engineer?
Sadly not. We didn't find a soul in here.
Oh, what a shame.
Well, thank you for letting us know about this place and giving us a chance to investigate.
According to what Gina tells me, we only found it thanks to a clue that you lot turned up. I wouldn't want to say, go to Paris with a debt of gratitude unpaid now, would I?
Thank you.
Anyway, if you're open to snoop around in here, I get cracking. Law Van Six and the forensic investigation team are on their way here as we speak.
Thumb again.
I imagine you got the picture by now. They don't take too kindly to the lawyer types.
Right. So then, my dear fellow, let's turn this place upside down while we have the chance.
And you, Holmes,
Pardon?
they take even less kindly to great detectives than they do to lawyers.
Very Gregson, very droll. But you may consider me nothing more than an inconspicuous waxwork model.
Whatever. I don't care what you do in your downtime, Holmes.
Right, let's see what we can find in here.
Okay, let's just look at this real quick, because this shit. The arrows.
It's a European-style quiver of arrows with steel bolts inside.
Oh, do you suppose?
Crossbow bolts these. Just the right size for that bow you lot turned up at the exhibition grounds.
In other words.
Yep, that's more evidence to support your theory. It all goes to show that Drebber was the one pulling the strings behind the scenes of the whole scam.
All right, it belongs to Mr. Enoch Drebber. There we go. What about this trophy here?
Ah, this appears to be most interesting. Yes, most interesting indeed, wouldn't you say? It's an impressive-looking back massager, that's for sure. I've no doubt that if you hit your shoulders a few times with that, your aches and pains would soon go away. Do you not have trophies where you come from, Mr. Naruhodo? It's a Royal Society Trophy for Excellence in Science. A young scientist could wish for no higher honor. Ah. Would you like a massage? No, I'm fine, thank you. I had no idea it was such a grand thing.
I think it's becoming increasingly clear that there's more to this Mr. Enoch Drebber than conjuring tricks.
I couldn't agree more, my dear madam. And how about you, Mr. Naruhodo? Would you like to take it with you? For your tired shoulders, of course. He's not going to let that go, is he? Ah,
It's curious, though, isn't it? You would expect such an important trophy to be proudly on display somewhere, not haphazardly cast aside. English gentlemen can be quite a mystery at times.
A Royal Society Trophy for Excellence in Science that was found in Mr. Drebber's workshop. It's a very prestigious award for a young scientist. Let's have a little look-see-doodle at it.
There's a little metal plaque here, look. Fostering burgeoning talent for the future of scientific discovery. Seems rather ironic, doesn't it?
Or is that rather ironic, doesn't it?
But clearly Mr. Drebber was a very talented scientist.
Nothing else? No?
This piece of glass is almost as thick as it is wide.
Yes, but I've never seen anything like it.
If you were to compare it to a human, only Mr. Holmes has such thick skin.
There's really no need for such a comparison, Mr. Naruhodo, as you well know.
Anyway, it can only be from the Crystal Tower, surely.
Yes, I think so too. It was probably made especially to meet the demands of that great structure.
Oh yeah, I should look at the camera too. Oh yeah.
Oh look, the cover came open.
Yes, now. There should be a glass plate inside. You have to change the plate with each new photograph you want to take, you see.
Something wrong.
There is no plate. It's been removed.
Ah, what a pity. But I suppose if you think about it, this wouldn't be the actual camera that was used at the time, just like the waxwork isn't the actual person. So we never have found a photographic print of the executed convict coming back to life anyway.
Oh, yes, you're quite right, of course.
Poor Susto-san, she looks so devastated. She's sad.
Ooh. Ooh, I see some giblets though.
What a wonderful camp machine.
You really love contraptions like this, don't you?
Oh, yes. Anything mechanical I find absolutely irresistible.
Almost irresistible, surely.
Well, whenever I see a pocket watch, for example, I can't help myself. I simply have to take it apart.
That's worrying. No wonder you and Susto get along so well.
Yes, Father tells the time by the rumblings of his stomach now. He's given up having a watch.
Poor Professor Mikotoba. Hello.
Look, Mr. Naruhodo.
What is it?
On the bellows, just here. There seem to be some very dark red stains.
Yes, you're right. Looks like blood, actually.
Oh my.
I'm sure it's not what you're thinking.
Once it's extended, dark staining is visible in the bellows. My God.
Sorry, Mr. Naruhodo, that machine is covered by the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. There would be serious repercussions if you were to examine it, from the Crown and the government.
I'm just looking at it, though. Come on.
Holmes already over there. Oh, shit.
Well, those two don't seem to be holding back. It's quite hollow inside. No working parts or devices of deception be seen, my dear fellow.
No loose change dropped on the floor or nothing. Not even a bone for Toby here, my dear fella. British people are very much ruled by their own ideals, aren't they?
I think that's just these two, Miss Suzuto.
There's a ladder. I can't examine it, damn it.
Oh, I see an aeroplane.
What on earth is this?
An aeroplane, Mr. Naruhodo. One day, scientists believe it will allow humans to fly freely in the skies.
Is that how the trick will be described? Is that how the trick will be described, is it?
Sorry?
Well, it's actually suspended by a thin, very strong cable, isn't it?
Oh, well, this model is, yes, but a real aeroplane would actually fly high in the sky.
While suspended from somewhere even higher in the sky, of course. Because large metal objects obviously can't really stay in the mid-air unsupported.
So to you, the solution is ever taller towers?
Yeah, pretty much. What? It's perfectly reasonable. This door doesn't want to open.
Yeah, looks like it's got a pretty hefty lock on it.
There's a specialist locksmith on his way over from the yard. So hands off until he gets here.
With permission, Inspector, I could have that lock open in less than a minute.
Well, you don't have permission. And no one's giving it to you.
Gregson looks as though he really enjoyed that.
Well, there's no sign of anybody on the other side.
No, Drebber must have fled at the first sign of danger.
Or maybe not.
Oh?
Is something wrong, Miss Suzuto?
Well, I thought I heard a noise from the far side of that door. Well, Gina, did you hear it too? Yeah, I heard it and all. What do you reckon, Toby?
Right. Mind the grease. Thud, thud. Whoever's in there, open up. There's a skull in your heart.
Uh-oh.
Oh my, someone is in there.
Let me in! Let me in! Ah, this rotten bleeding lock.
My dear Gregson, as I said only minutes ago, if only it were countenanced, I could unlock that door in less than a minute.
Fine. I'll take the rap for it. Just get us through that blasted door.
Click. There. You may enter at will.
You confuse minutes with seconds, I think.
Time is of the essence, I feel. What are we waiting for?
What are you waiting for? Another floor, I suppose. It's an emergency.
There's a strong possibility that beyond that door is the engineer you all seek. Be prepared for action, my dear fellow.
Suits no toss time.
Yes. Sisto, get ahead of me.
For God's sakes, Mr. Naruhodo.
Uh-oh. That's a bomb. That's a big bomb.
What? What's happening here? Oh boy. Why is everything upside doodly?
Rats! There ain't no one in here after all. But there must be. It was only moments ago that we heard those noises.
Man, that was the sound of Drebber running away.
But there's only one door into this room.
And no windows that could afford an escape route.
Oh, there's the ones above the... Oh! I see some... I was looking at the windows up there, but you see the big weird footprints up there. Ooh. What do you do, like kick it open, like that wall open or something? Oh, did he stacked a bunch of shit on top of a bunch of furniture up, right? And then like use that to go out the top panel up there?
And no windows that can afford an escape route. The skylights are too high.
Yeah.
What's that up there? Are they footprints on the ceiling?
Blow me. What have we here then?
Guys, the bomb. Hello.
Looks like someone was trying to burn something in a hurry.
Oh, it looks like a set of blueprints.
To what?
To that Professor Harebrain's bombing machine, is it? Blimey! If we had these, there'd been no need to muck about trying to investigate all that scrap metal.
There's something of great interest here, too. This rope was lying on the floor at the foot of that pillar. A rope? What's the significance about that?
I guess maybe that's what he used to pull himself up or something?
Never mind. You see, but you do not observe, Mr. Naruhodo.
We must investigate the entire room thoroughly, and before the forensic investigation team arrive too.
Yes, like, this thing here. Hello? Mr. Holmes, have you found something? Yes, I believe that we are all about to die. But yes, Mr. Naruhodo. In point of fact, something rather fascinating. What do you make of this? Let's see. Never seen anything like it before. Looks like a bundle of thick cigars wrapped up in a large... Ah! Miss Susto? What's the matter? That's a...
Surely that's a time bomb, isn't it?
What? Did you say?
A time bomb?
Sorry, but... What is a time bomb, exactly?
Yeah.
You're truly all one of a kind, Mr. Naruhodo.
I won't take that as a compliment.
Ha! You don't know nothing, do you, Otto? We all about that demon, don't you, Otto?
You got a clue what it is either, have you, Gina? I invite you to consult a dictionary later, Mr. Naruhodo. But this particular specimen is no time bomb, though I confess it has a very similar appearance.
Oh, well, thank goodness. But then, what is it?
I see, so that's it.
Goodness, Mr. Holmes, have you seen to the heart of the matter?
There are times when I consider my lot most unfair, for I am fated never to know how it feels to flounder as you do when a puzzle presents itself. But I've learned to accept the hardships that come with being a great detective, Miss Susto.
Here we go. I feel a great deduction coming along.
Once again, I can draw two conclusions from the scene we see before us. And these will all be right, but how I came about it is totally wrong. The first is that the inverted nature of the furniture in this room is the work of Drebber himself.
Yeah.
Oh, but how could you...
And the second conclusion is that the small device on the floor there is, without question, completely genuine.
Please, Mr. Holmes, you must explain everything.
It would be a pleasure. After all, it is a great detective's civic duty to teach Scotland Yard the finer points of the trade.
Aye. Well, Inspector Gregson seems to lie with the idea anyway. All right, then.
Oh, you deflected the inspector's gaze with such fortitude there, Mr. Holmes. Well done.
You're too kind, my dear madam. I hereby dedicate this great deduction to you. Kindly stand just there, Mrs. Toe.
Oh, yes. I'd be delighted.
So, shall we begin? Once again, Sherlock Holmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. It's time. Let's go. The game is afoot, Mr. Aruno. It's plain to see this room is in complete disarray. The bed, the table, and the chairs, the lamp, everything is upside doodly. Almost as if every item in the room had until recently been happily positioned on the ceiling, before falling straight down onto the floor.
Every item in the room was on the ceiling. Are you suggesting that?
Indeed, the key here is gravity.
Whoa!
It would appear that technology has at last succeeded in freeing us from the greatest pull of the earth.
Holy shit! Time stop!
I'm a god. For the gravity in this room was reversed, and then suddenly restored to normality.
Goodness.
The inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. I quite understand your skepticism, Miss Susto. I, too, was incredulous at first. However, my conviction in my analysis was cemented when I observed this. An anti-gravity device, almost identical to the one that featured in a dream of mine only the other day, in fact.
Whoa!
Oh my god, it's flying! But why does it have a clock on it?
A most relevant question indeed. That is a timing device that controls when the gravity direction will switch. There was clearly a requirement for the engineer to be able to restore normal gravity automatically, and the commotion we heard earlier from the other side of the door was the moment that restoration occurred. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside doodly is because of the anti-gravity device. So you see, we need to look no further and explain the state in which we find this room. The direction in which gravity acts in here was reversed by Mr. Drebber, before being restored to normality in an automatic fashion sometime later by the timer device. I have witnessed precisely this scene in a dream I once had when I fell out of bed.
God damn it! How'd you fucking do it? God damn, doodling! Gravity was reversed. This makes so much sense. All right, what's next? Missing engineer. Where he be?
Now, let us consider the next conundrum. What was our engineer's friend's aim? Indubitably, the greatest clue we have to explain his actions is above our heads.
Yes, how is it possible that there are footprints all the way up there on the ceiling?
The question whose answer will lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madam. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby skylight. Of course, Trevor's aim was singular, to escape. However, there is but one way into this room. Excepting the skylight, that is.
Ah.
Behold! Whoa! God! By averting the gravity in here, Mr. Trevor was able to fall conveniently to the ceiling. Not smash into it like a fucking bag of potatoes, and make his escape via the otherwise inaccessible skylight, leaving the footprints behind it on the way.
But the ceiling in here is very high, Mr. Holmes. If the gravity reversal was sudden, wouldn't Mr. Drebber have fallen up into the ceiling rather violently?
Hell yes, he would. Falling up is both scientifically and philosophically a rather interesting concept, I feel. But the man was cornered with nowhere to run, so escape through the skylight was his only option. You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution.
Oh, the rope.
To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope? By anchoring one end to the wall, the man was able to lower himself safely to the ceiling. Which explains how Drebber was able to escape this room before our arrival.
Ah, beautiful.
He reversed the pull of gravity and fled via the skylight. And personally, I should very much like to reverse the pull of gravity again now, just for fun.
Oh, Holmes, you silly little booger, I tell you. Oh, escape via that skylight. All right, well, clearly that was wrong then. That's what I thought too, that he stacked this shit up so he could escape that way, but maybe not.
Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle.
Where is he then? Where the fuck is he? Maybe he's in that little balloon there. Somebody squeeze himself in there.
I'll play with my doggo.
She's completely spellbound. Mr. Holmes, there's just one thing that troubles me. I would expect nothing less. You're destined to be troubled by just one thing for the rest of your life. The thing is such a thing actually possible?
An anti-gravity device, I mean.
I would say that with man's current scientific technology at the turn of the 20th century, it's no more possible than instantaneous kinesis. But your whole deduction hinges on it. Ah, but my dear fellow, when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth, however improbable it may seem. It's a marvelous line, wouldn't you agree? One of my more enduring pearls of wisdom. I had Iris come up with the exact phrasing. My bridge was clumsy.
Yes, I have a feeling I've read it in something that Miss Susto let me once.
Objection. Oh, I said that. Actually, there is one other thing, Mr. Holmes.
Ah, the spell's broken at last.
The rope you found was on the floor, wasn't it?
Indeed it was, in lonely coils near the wall.
But if Mr. Drebber had used it to escape in the way you described, wouldn't it still be tied to the wall?
Stop dashing my hopes and dreams, Miss Susto. Mysteries inevitably unravel in the end, as I think you'll find in 2 ropes. And as evidence of such, you need only look at the mystery we face in this room, now skillfully unraveled.
That argument is as circular as the coils of rope.
I think perhaps we might need to give Mr. Holmes the usual little helping hand. I'm sure with some minor corrections, the Great Detective's Great Deduction will lead us to the truth.
Yes, you're right. You know what? Maybe we should just ignore what the truth is and just go with his actual results, because the results of what he's saying is always end up being right. And we must do it quickly before Enoch Drebber gets too far away.
If you're ready, then let us resume. Sherlock Holmes' logic and reasoning spectacular. Once more, with feeling. Hold it, Mr. Holmes.
There's no time for this. We got a convict to chase.
The inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business.
I think gravity could have been reversed in this very room. I find the whole idea utterly enthralling. Only Mr. Holmes could conceive of such an explanation.
The man himself admitted it was a scientific impossibility, so...
Yes, you're quite right. We must completely discount the idea once.
Oh, that's unusually merciless of you, Miss Susto.
When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. The Great Detective himself said so, didn't he?
While refusing to part with his dreams of anti-gravity devices.
Yes, I suppose so.
Well, let's see if examining this topsy-turvy scene a little more closely reveals some proof that shows exactly what the gravity in this room was or wasn't doing. Upright vase? Well, I wasn't expecting to find a pretty bunch of flowers in here, that's for sure.
Oh, look at that.
I know, this slender little vase looks like it's about to topple at any moment, but the flowers are thriving.
Somehow makes you think of the fragility of life, wouldn't you say?
To be honest, Mr. Aruhodo, something else about it made a rather deeper impression on me.
Oh, just that by itself. I didn't even have to say it. Yes, the upright vase reveals the truth.
The upright vase clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business.
Upon my word, Mr. Aruhodo, you surpassed yourself by completely turning my argument on its head. Trying to impress your assistant here, perhaps?
No one is trying to steal your spotlight here, Mr. Holmes. Trust me.
As you rightly say, though it appears at first glance that all the furniture in the room is upside down. This unassuming son of a face is standing keenly to attention. And unlike the large safe, there's nothing affixing it to the floor. And it's the exception that breaks the rule. In short, much as it pains me, the gravity of this room was never fun at all. My deepest sympathies for your loss.
Oh, poor Mr. Holmes. He's so sad.
But the show must go on, so let's continue with our deductions. Now we know that this contrivance is not in fact an anti-gravity device. There remains but one other possibility. You don't say. Someone deliberately turned over every piece of furniture in here. Which might sound obvious, but leaves one mystery very much unsolved. Namely, why anyone would choose to do that. Quite, and naturally there's an explanation. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the anti-gravity device.
He's absolutely determined that this device must have been something to do with it, isn't he?
I'm afraid the lure of an exciting scientific explanation is too strong.
Well, there's no doubt that somebody did this. Somebody turned all his furniture over. So whoever it was must have had a reason.
I'm afraid nothing comes to mind at all, though.
Well, let's look around and see if the answer presents itself. Hello. Looks like there's something written on the inner side of this armchair.
Oh yes, safe. 432582.
Safe? As in safe and secure?
That's a secure lockable box, I think.
Admittedly, more likely.
Well, there is a large safe bolted to the floor on the other side of the room, so yes.
So you mean this number would let us open it?
Wonder what's written here, though.
Boom. Boom!
Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the safe combination. Precisely. I believe, Mr. Arahodo, that you had a very similar experience once, did you not? Yes, last year, when I bought a lottery ticket and noted the ticket down on the inside cover of a book just in case. That's it. For people who are forgetful souls at heart and always make a written note of important information. Except for me.
Just keeping the ticket itself safe would be more sensible, I think.
And what, pray, happened next, Mr. Arahodo? And the day the draw came around, I forgot which book I'd written the number in. Had to turn my room upside doodly to find it. That's it. For people who are forgetful souls at heart and always forget where they've noted things down.
And if you always know things in the same place.
Mister's doing her little book.
Actually won the second prize, you know. But I couldn't remember which magazine I slipped the ticket into, so I had to turn my room upside down. Thank you, Mr. Arahodo, but I believe I've proved my point now. Which is that a very similar scenario is clearly unfolded in this room. Finding himself requiring access to the safe, the occupant of this room needed the combination code. He remembered that he'd written it on the underside of a piece of furniture, but forgot which one. Leading to the state in which we now find the room. Yes, Mr. Drebber overturned all the furniture in here in a desperate hurry to locate the combination code that would unlock the safe.
To find the safe combination. Solved, yes. All right. Now where'd he go?
Now let's consider the next conundrum. What was our engineer's friend's aim? Indubitably, the greatest clue we have to explain his actions above our heads.
Yes, so how is it possible that there are footprints all the way up there in the ceiling?
A question whose answer will lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madam. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby skylight.
Well, if it's changing the direction of gravity can't explain it, then how did those footprints get there?
Yes, I feel as though that particular mystery has just become even harder to solve.
I can't think of any other way to explain it.
Did he actually have the balloon carry him? Actually, like, the rope pulled him up or something, maybe?
Well, assuming it can actually, hold his weight.
Oh, life was so much simpler in those halcyon days when gravity could be reversed.
It was minutes ago, and those halcyon days never existed in the first place.
I suppose we must simply put our faith in Mr. Holmes and observe the area in more detail.
Putting our faith in Mr. Holmes is what gets us into these situations in the first place.
Shu!
It's hard to believe, but there's a shoe up there, look!
Yes, and there are more footprints on this little balloon, too. Perhaps the shoe was thrown up there and became lodged, do you think?
If so, then judging from the number of footprints, it must have been thrown up several times. Why would anyone be throwing shoes up at the ceiling, though?
Oh dear, it's beyond me, I'm afraid.
Take that! Shoo! Boom!
The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby shoe. And on closer inspection, there are clearly footprints all over the balloon as well. In other words, the aim was never the skylight at all, but the balloon.
But for what purpose?
A green balloon? That seems somewhat familiar. Data.
It was a piece of green balloon envelope that Mr. Arhodo and Iris found at the scene.
Inside the green balloon that Master Goss claims he saw above the stage when the incident occurred was the second birdcage, the crux of the whole instantaneous kinesis deception.
You mean to say?
If we assume the balloon in here is a model of the one used on the day, there's a strong possibility something may be concealed inside it.
Like a human being.
Something Abscondo was desperate to retrieve before making a hasty getaway. But the balloon's out of reach. That's why he resorted to a projectile, namely the shoe. Most probably Drebber intended to tear a hole in the envelope by sealing with the shoe. However, his efforts were thwarted when the shoe itself became a prisoner of the lofty heights.
Oh dear, we desperately need to examine that balloon. If only there was some way we could see inside it.
We got a crossbow, just shoot it down. Like he did.
You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution.
Oh, the rope.
To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope?
Mr. Holmes has managed to bring the deduction back to the rope.
All right, have to admit, that was clever. So we just throw the rope up to the balloon and then pull it down to us on the ground.
Which is much easier said than done, I feel. It could take us a very long time as well.
True. Perhaps we need a more surefire method. In fact, we already have one, of course, don't we?
This fucking crossbow. Boom!
To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this crossbow? Hopefully there's not someone stored in there right now. We're about to murder his ass.
That was found at the scene, in fact.
And in all likelihood, belongs to Mr. Drebber.
The man had only brought it away with him that day. He could have avoided losing a shoe at such a crucial time as this.
I'll shoot his ass to the goddamn ground.
So, shall we? Your curiosity is deeply stirred, no doubt, my dear fellows. What is it that Enoch Drebber has hidden inside that balloon?
Bam! His dead body.
Oh, the head.
What the?
So it had an iron mask on it? I see. So the head was never... okay, so you didn't see his face, which makes sense. They just had a mask or like an iron metal grid on there to make it more imposing. What would he have used it for? Or he still have it? So he is the one, right? He is clearly the one that took that waxwork.
Waxwork? Indeed it is. A waxwork head inside a metal mask. A mask that is shut tight and fastened with a strong and quite impenetrable lock. So we can't see the face inside. That means...
Just a moment, this is the head of a waxwork model. Does that mean... Oh, goodness.
I see you've joined the dots, Miss Susto. Excellent.
Of course. A headless waxwork model. The case of the abducted Madame Tussauds model that you'd largely solved. It was only the head of the killer that was still missing.
Indeed it was. But I believe Madame Tussauds will now have to settle her sizable account with me. This, as you have now surmised, is the head of the infamous professor. Yes.
But why is it here?
This conclusively confirms my suspicions. The man responsible for stealing the professor from Madame Tussauds and returning it, sans te, earlier today was none other than Enoch Drebber.
This is incredible. What are the odds? Professor Harebrain's case and the waxwork abduction are... They're inextricably linked by Enoch Drebber's workshop.
Behold.
The head of Professor Waxwork that was stolen from the Madame Tussauds special exhibit. Now where's that asshole?
Well, it appears our logical pleasure cruise has come to an end, my dear fellows. All that remains is, yes, to speak with the architect of this adventure.
The architect?
You mean Mr. Drebber? As it seems quite impossible that he escaped via one of the skylights, obviously the man must still be here in the room.
Oh, he's hiding inside the safe.
What?
And his location should be abundantly clear. If you simply reflect on the journey we've made together during this deduction. Enoch Drebber's right here somewhere in this room. So, Mr. Naruhodo, will you do the honors? Yes, of course. Mr. Drebber's hiding place must be...
The skylight.
Take that!
This. Boom.
Before we gain access to this back room, we heard noise from in here, which tells us that the engineer was still in the building at the point in time. He was in fact searching for the combination to his safe. And pressed for time, made no attempt to right the furniture that he overturned in the process. But once we can deduce that his search for the combination happened very recently indeed. In summary, Mr. Enoch Drebber... Woo! Spin! Is at this very moment inside the safe. Heck yeah! Go us! Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle. With a lot of help from me.
Inside the safe. Solved. Case closed. Boom! Yeah. Elementary round in our...
All right. This guy's probably running out of air, so we probably should open this thing up soon.
So, Mr. Naruhodo, I think perhaps it's time we end this game of hide and seek, don't you? By opening the safe, you mean? What else? Let's see. The combination was 1...
432582.
I knew that. All right, then, here it goes.
We just come out with a fucking gun.
Hello?
Oh, shit, he's got a golden arm.
You found me.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh. He's popping and locking. Oh, shit.
Oh, he's busting a move. Whoa. Behold. Right then, sir, Mr. Enoch Drebber, I presume?
Correct.
Robo-Man!
You better start talking. You tricked Professor Hairbrain with that bogus machine you built.
And you shall have to explain the theft of the waxwork for Madame Two Spells as well.
Okay, what kind of voice should I give him?
First, I'd be delighted to answer your questions.
Yeah, it works.
First, I would be delighted to answer your many questions. Personally, I would advise that you deactivate my little parcel first.
Deactivate?
Your parcel?
I refer to, of course, to the time bomb. I left it in a most prominent position. Ah! Ha ha ha. I see. Stunned silence. You're all going up to die with me then.
No!
Boom.
Mr. Holmes, with only 7 seconds to spare.
That was too close for comfort. I've got 1 foot in the grave already.
Oh, God. Are you trying to help us get a killer? I'll get us killed.
Mr. Holmes' deductions can be completely life-altering, can't they?
Well, my dear fellows, that was a close shave. Good thing you didn't take that too long in the message boxes there, Naruhodo. We would have eaten shit. Oh, that was my fault, huh? Yes, your fault. You should have gone through the messages faster. You knew the answers. You didn't need all that fluff dialogue. Shut up, Mr. Holmes. The resemblance to an anti-gravity device is really quite startling, I must say.
Anti-gravity devices don't exist.
I wouldn't push it, Mr. Holmes. Oh, boy. Oh, my God. We're going to talk to this guy, too? Hey, check this shit out.
It might surprise you to learn that I'm actually a lawyer from the Empire of Japan.
I detest lawyers. They wield so-called special powers.
I don't know. He's very robotic. Man, I should really just give him a robo voice. They're actually doing like can I do a British robo voice?
They wield so-called precious special powers in an attempt to grind down our freedoms. Yes, let me be quite clear. I detest lawyers very much.
Any chance 2 negatives make a positive? Well, too bad. What happened here? What on earth happened in here?
You found me, haven't you? No need to screw me down any further. Everything in here is precisely what it seems.
Yeah? We'll be giving it a thorough go to lot, don't you worry, Drebber.
What fails to click with me is how you were able to locate my workshop. That I was not expecting. When I heard whistling from the other room, I knew it was time to bolt.
Whistling?
Ah, that would have been me. In my arm. My bicep.
Ah,
For some reason, I will confide in Feather today. No words, just tightly squeezed chips.
Clearly, I must have a screw loose, though, as I couldn't remember the combination for the safe. And another one loose, as I couldn't remember on which piece of furniture I'd written it down.
We also found a rope over there by the wall.
Yes, I'd hoped to exit through the skylight, but sadly, the rope was too short. So then, I set about searching for the culmination code to open the safe.
And burning the incrementing blueprints, don't forget. Regrettably, though, you failed to retrieve the head from the balloon among the rafters.
Probably should have burned that ottoman while you're at it.
After that, you hid yourself inside the safe, having first set this parcel ticking.
Well, I had no intention of being nailed by the police.
Nice arm, bro. Go death wish, have ya? Hiding right beside a ticking time bomb.
Please, why do you suppose I chose to hide inside the safe? It's no ordinary safe. It's specially designed. A dynamite explosion wouldn't leave a scratch on it.
So, in fact, the safe was the only safe place.
Precisely.
but once you climbed inside, you wouldn't have been able to get out again.
I invite you to look more closely. The safe is fitted with a handle on the inside to allow the door to be unlocked from within.
Ah, so it is.
I had always intended to blow this place to smithers, in any case. I just wasn't expecting uninvited guests to come along and screw up my plans.
Do you mean to say you're planning to blow us all up?
No, that was unforeseen.
What do you mean?
Most people run, you see, when they see a ticking time bomb at their feet.
Ah,
I calculate the time required for retreat to a safe distance and set the device accordingly. But your seemingly endless discourse in here threw a spanner in the works.
Yeah. Oh, it did take a while.
is something wrong, Gregson? Do I have something on my face besides the usual eyes, ears, nose, and mouth?
Swear to God, Holmes, are gonna be the death of me.
We have a fairly good idea of what's been going on here now. What about the two incidents you've evidently been involved in recently?
I plead the fifth.
Professor Harebrain's instantaneous kinesis experiment at the Great Exhibition, and the waxwork model you stole, which is this head belongs to.
That's no ordinary head, you know. That's the head of the professor. Clad in a mask with a lock so strong, I'm unable to open it safely to reveal the killer's identity. I've been considering carrying it around as protection, after all.
That's enough. What's going on here, Gregson? I'm sure you're aware that I have sole jurisdiction to investigate here.
Yes, well.
Dr. Scythe again, so the forensic investigation team are here.
And you know full well this engineer is a key witness. Why are you allowing this lawyer access to him? If Lord Strongheart knew of this, you'd be finished. You lot, leave at once.
My dear madam, there's no need for such threatening in tone, I assure you. After all, that's no way to greet an old acquaintance, is it, Dr. Scythe?
Hello, Holmes.
Mr. Holmes knows Dr. Scythe? If it's protecting the machine next door that's causing such a sour expression on your face, you are quite misguided. It's really nothing more than a shell you...
Get out!
But of course, we'll show ourselves the door. I see you haven't softened at all. Mr. Naruhodo, yeah? It would appear that our delightfully entertaining investigations have run their course for today. But, Mr. Holmes! Let us leave this place in the doctor's capable hands.
I said get out. Now! All of you! Your presence here is not required either, Gregson.
Understood. But I'll just say one thing before I head off. If it wasn't for this lawyer and his companions, we'd never have found this place. And the whole workshop would have been blown to bits. There was a time bomb sitting here that this lot disarmed.
Inspector.
Something giving you a chuckle, has it, Drebber?
Ah, so sorry. Didn't mean to offend. You're quite right, of course. You did disarm the time bomb, didn't you? Uh-oh. Yes, you did disarm that one.
Eh? What are you? That one? You mean?
Oh boy.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh man, it's so good being an NPC cop. I don't have to worry about any of the main story shit. Ah! Damn. Get fucked.
It was an hour later that we heard the news. The enormous explosion that ripped through the experimentation stage of the Great Exhibition. Professor Harebrain's invention and all its secrets were blown away forever.
Damn. Shit be fucking crazy. Too big a turn. Ah!
Wow, dude.
Wow.
Damn. I mean, is there any, like, doubt that this guy's a bad guy? I guess maybe, but is he the bad guy? He's, like, willing to blow this shit to Kingdom Come and probably murder us as well. Holy crap. That was awesome. That was super sick. Wow. Damn. Wow, okay. I like how at the start of this, I was like worried. I was like, damn, I swear to God, it's only gonna be like 10 more minutes. I'd be super pissed. And nope, it was way longer. There was a whole lot more left. The moment I saw, I was like, oh God, we're doing a great deduction. And then it was like, oh, we're even gonna talk to Drebber now? Great. That was a big, thick bitch of an episode. I don't know if I'm gonna split into two or try to turn it all down to one episode. I'm not exactly sure. But either way, I think it's time we end things for next time. Anyway, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this episode or these episodes. If you did, please leave a like and a favorite and subscribe if you're not already become Piggy Penguin. I'm boy the SLP, where the days are always sunny and the vids are always funny. And as always, guys, till next time, stay classy.